And hello, welcome to a little show we do at here at Rockwall Ford on Wednesdays, but it is Tuesday. Chris Pena, Rockwall County Game Day. We're here live at Rockwall Ford, joined by Mr. James Branch. Kevin Wingfield's on the end, and I saved the last introduction. Our newest member, Mr. Chris Moore. Yes, Chris is. We have some Rockwall representation up here, and I think it's been time. I remember Coach Bowles telling me. He's the Rockwall kind of special teams coach, but he's also soccer coach. He was like, "Man, you need some Rockwall blood up there."
Right.
So, welcome, Chris, to the show, and we appreciate you coming on. Of course, this segment brought to you by Rockwall Ford. We're live. It is Tuesday. I walked in today, guys, and. Everybody was like, "You do know it's Tuesday," and I tried to act like I didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, "What are you?" But Tuesday show because I've got plans. Wednesday I can't do it, so here we are. We're going to the show today. We're going to recap the Rockwall Royce City game. We're going to kind of break some things down, talk about that game. I know we had talked about it. It was a big game for us. We wanted to really see where Royce City was,
Yep.
and then we're going to talk about the Rockwall defense, which deserves some shout out. And we're accustomed to Rockwall. We know the 50 points, the 60 points, and, we're just – the defense was always kind of like if they could just get a little stronger. And this year it's time to give them their credit because they look really good on defense. And then after that, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back, and we're going to recap Week 5, and we'll talk a little Heath Hawks football, talk about some other teams, some other scores that went on during the week, and then we'll end the show with doing a preview of Week 6. Some massive games out there this week, so we will go that route. So with that said, gentlemen, welcome, and how's everybody doing?
Is there a spread on if Chris is going to make it through the whole show? Are there odds on that yet?
Get a shirt.
Right. Oh, yeah, well,
the shirts are.
It better be longer than 3 years. That's all I got to say.
Well, it got his name on the board already.
Yeah,
so
that makes it official.
I know.
Yeah.
You are official now. That's for sure.
I'm excited to be here, guys.
Well, good.
Well, things are
Welcome.
good, man. It's been a good week. I had we'll talk about the game, but it's everything's good, man. It's all
Yeah,
good.
we do have some interesting things to talk about. I'd like to. We got some stuff that I want to bring up. But first, before we do, let's just talk about some things that we like to talk about beforehand. Some college, some NFL. The week didn't really start out the way I wanted with TCU playing Arizona State
It was a
last
tough one.
Friday,
Really tough
and that was a really tough game. And obviously, not many bigger Josh Hoover fans than I am, and it's nothing new. I'm not bandwagon here. It was, but well before. It was a tough night for the Frogs. Tough night for Josh. That's what quarterback isn't going to go through a tough game. But hey, that O line for TCU, they got to get better. He was getting killed from the
They
very
gotta get
first
more
series.
protection.
If they're going to do anything, but I thought I was a little disappointed in that game. But hey, that's how football goes.
Yeah, it was a tough game. I watched some of it. I didn't get to watch a lot because it was on Friday, and we were up at the Bulldog Stadium doing all that.
I had my phone out. It was in my pocket with my ear.
Yeah. And I was going back and forth between TCU and Harper playing up in Colorado, and then trying to watch the Dogs, and then us talking back and forth about all the games. And man, it was a wild Friday night. But
Fun Friday night, though. Isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Yep,
We're supposed to do.
you know what? We knew that Arizona State team was good, and we knew that was going to be a battle for them. So, I would have loved to have seen them come out on top, but it's probably a good game for them.
Yeah.
To have a test like that, and we'll see how they bounce back next week. But I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Do you remember you were the Josh Hoover days and,
Oh, yeah.
and the Locke days?
Yeah.
I mean, that was some of the funnest
Yeah,
football.
A lot of talent on both those teams.
Oh,
You
it
know.
was a lot of fun back then.
Yeah.
Still fun.
Still
It was
fun.
a lot of fun back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
I bet you Josh will back next game though. You watch.
I bet you
think
would
so.
too. And I talk about Josh, and I talk highly about Braden as well. I just can't wait for him to get his shot. Hopefully, Arizona's the place where next year he's in there
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting his time. But so tough one for the Frogs. The other tough one came in the weekend for the Ryder Cup, and obviously I'm a big golf guy. I play a lot of golf. I don't watch a lot of golf. For some reason, when Tiger went away, it kind of lost that something. It lost something for me. And but I watch the majors, and so I get up. I'm the nut that gets up at 3:30 to watch the British Open, things like that. Ryder Cup was it was horrible, and then all of a sudden Sunday it became like the most must-see TV. That it was incredible, incredible golf. But they have this silly rule. I don't know if you guys watched it or heard about it. Victor Hovland, who plays for Europe, woke up Sunday and could not play. His neck was sore and he had to back out. Well, he forfeited. But in that tournament, the rule is if you forfeit, they split the points. So America got half a point and Europe got half a point. And this is coming on a day where the Americans have to win nine of the matches that are out there.
Wow.
And it came down to the last three matches, and the Americans that half point was huge, and it just kind of deflated the whole thing. But silly rule. Like what kind of in tennis, if somebody withdraws for injury, the other person wins,
Yeah,
right?
it's over.
If you forfeit a game, the other person wins. In golf, apparently, in this format, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a dumb
So
rule.
Another reason to not like golf, right?
Dumb rule, exactly. And I'm definitely not getting up at 3:30 in the morning to watch it.
tough one for the Americans. They just they cannot beat that Europe team. It's been a while, thought I'd throw it out. Then comes Sunday night, and everybody in the world said it was going to be a blowout. That the Dallas Cowboys were going to get creamed by Green Bay, and my guy, Dak Prescott, better than Tony Romo any day of the week. I always say that. Man, that guy balled out.
Good game.
They did, and Parsons didn't do a whole lot in that game, so they did well, and so
They did well. They did.
They did. Dallas did well. Their defense is not great.
They're last in the league.
But that's
Their defense is not
it's pretty typical.
great at
And
all.
I still think Jerry needs to call us and come on the show if he wants to continue the winning streak.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But
They-
I just don't have a lot to say. I'm just not.
Well, I mean, you went to bed thinking, okay, kiss your sister. It's over. It's a 40-40 tie.
it was the most.
It's
It was
the most dissatisfying 4 hours of football.
could not understand. I mean, I understand. I knew the tie was a possibility, so it wasn't like it was a shock that what do you mean there's a tie? But it was just the game was so good.
Yeah.
And
Let's have a kickoff. Let's put
yes.
each kicker out there and see who wins.
I saw that
There we
idea.
go.
I saw that idea, and boy, that would be awesome.
We'll go
for
first.
the kickers to start from a 40-yard, then a 50-yard, and then 55 and 60, and and then
It's like a shootout in soccer.
yeah, I mean that would be, and of course nowadays, I don't know what's happened to the evolution of kicking, but these guys are kicking
Further and further.
55
67
Oh,
yards.
yeah.
like they're 40s.
Yeah,
like
all
they're 40. You didn't see that 10, 15 years ago. Like you weren't sure. Now it's like doesn't even matter. And it's probably now worth investing in a kicker because special teams is becoming bigger and bigger, and Dallas has the best weapon in the NFL. They
Well,
just need to
look
get
at
to
it.
midfield.
Now you've got the landing zone that you have to put it in.
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about the other day with our guy. He was putting it right there where we're supposed to
Every time.
every time. So they either have to run it back or they're getting stopped. If you kick it short, I mean, 2 plays in Dallas is in field goal range easily.
Yeah, the NFL has screwed up the game of football so bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's just almost it's almost unwatchable. And high school, college, all day long, forever will kill the NFL. And it's just the NFL is just, man, it's just such a disappointment and all it.
There's just so much money involved.
It is.
Especially with the players. Like I would not be for the game continuing after the first overtime. Maybe you do 2-point conversions after that. After that one, right? It's you do a 2-point conversion, then the other team gets a chance to do
Kind of
theirs.
like you do in college.
Yeah, do that because you do have guys that are making 60-40 million a year, and you don't want to risk injury for that. I mean,
Put some skill competition in there at the end.
Yeah.
I'm like
I
you
don't
guys.
know,
Just don't make it a
man.
tackling competition because we'd be out on that one for
Look,
sure.
we've been playing football for however many years. Now all of a sudden, you pay a guy $100 million and you don't want him to get hurt. So it's like there's a winner and a loser.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
That's
You're tying. Come on, dude. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, what do we
sudden
do?
death. Go back to the
Yeah.
sudden death.
Roger Goodell. He's
Well,
terrible. It's terrible.
So yeah, the Cowboys. I don't know 1-2. I don't know who they are. I don't know. Like if you bet football, I don't know how you could feel good about betting any Cowboys because their offense could be great and I mean they're 1-2-1. It wouldn't surprise me if they won 6 in a row because they outscored everybody 45 to 40. And it also wouldn't surprise me to see them lose the next 6. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get with the Cowboys. So
yeah, Pickens really came alive. If they could get CeeDee Lamb back and you could keep both of those guys involved, it'd be they could do
if
something.
you could figure out a way to put them on defense, and then
Yeah.
maybe the
Definitely.
Cowboys
Most
be
definitely.
doing something.
Yep.
I'm also a fan of the Micah trade. I will say, Dallas was not a great defense with Micah. They were better. I will not say that they wouldn't be better. But they weren't great as it is, and we saw Micah disappear in some really big games. Just like I felt like he really wasn't a factor.
It was one play. He really was a factor.
One tackle.
On. And
Yeah,
that's
and
really
it was
One
it was the
tackle.
biggest
Big
tackle of the
play.
game. It was, but is that worth $46 million a year? And I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
We'll
that's
see.
for me. If Green Bay doesn't win a Super Bowl, Dallas won the trade. Plain and simple. I mean, especially if they do something.
Oh, they're
good.
not
So-
going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, no,
no
no.
doubt about that.
All right, last thing before we start moving on to the Royce City Rockwall recap. We'll kind of talk about that game. And I know this was kind of a hot topic for Mr. Kevin Wingfield. Did we see the rankings? The Dave Campbell's rankings came out this week. You got North Forney at 13. You have Rockwall at 17. You've got Longview at 18. And on my post that I did when I posted this, I said, hey, Heath should be in there. I think Heath is, when you talk about going on the road to Highland Park, we know what kind of program they have, and we know how hard it is to win over there. When you talk about beating a team from San Juan, the Southern California team, who was ranked, I don't know how big of a school they are. All this, it's a good program. Those were 2 really good wins, and the other win they had was a blowout, and then they go out and they blow out Tyler Legacy, who was putting up some really good points on some people. Now, Tyler Legacy, I think they have one decent win against Lake Highlands, maybe, or something like that. But I could see where, well, is it a good win? Is it not? Heath definitely deserves a little bit more consideration than Dave Campbell's is getting him, in my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you my opinion on the.
I was
on
waiting
the
for you
whole,
to.
I'll tell you my whole opinion on the rankings. I can remember in 2001 where a team was unranked and won the state title. Never got any love. They just went out there and won the games.
Who's that?
That'd be my son.
Oh.
2001 state champions. They lost to Forney in district, and then just beat the snot out of everybody in the playoffs without getting any kind of love from anybody. Look, the rankings are nice. It's just like getting that extra cupcake when you go to your birthday party. It's just a little extra for
And
you.
that's for us.
It is for us. It's for your parents. It's for the kids' bragging rights.
Yes.
But it's like I was telling you earlier. 3A school the other night. No ranked team beat the number 1 team by 40 points. Okay, you're ranked. A lot of times that hurts you. The teams that I don't think it would hurt would be Rockwall because they've been there. It won't hurt Longview because they've been there. Heath, it's been a while since they've been ranked. I don't know. I think there's some folks that are not looking at that team across town.
Yeah.
Because they just haven't been there in the last few years.
Yeah.
You better watch out. They're going to sneak up on you.
Yeah.
I think the Rockwall Heath game is going to be one of the best ones we've seen around here in the last 10 years this year. I really, really do. I think both of those teams are going to be evenly matched.
Well, I mean, it'd be hard to trump the 4 overtime game.
Well, we won that one, so no,
Yeah.
go Heath. No. I don't ever want to see that again. Though.
I don't. You know, I mean, hey, they're rankings, and we want to see. You know, we want to see our local teams up in there because we know what football means to this community. We see the kids at each of the games. We see the camps. They're huge. We know that these kids grow up wanting to play for Rockwall or Heath, and so it is a big deal. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't ask Coach Brooks or Coach Webb because I think the answer they would give is like, we don't care about the rankings.
Exactly.
I think behind the scenes, I would say they care.
Yeah, and I think it's something for us to talk about, something for fans to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at you look at Rockwall, for example. I mean, 17, and then they played Lake Travis when they were number 5. Played Louisville, and I think they were
17 or 14.
They were in the 14
Yeah.
range. Now they're up there at 10, and then obviously the North Crowley game. So they're weighing that in the rankings.
Yep.
But then what are they, weighing other teams on?
Who's Longview played? They're
Yeah,
South
well,
Oak 2,
South
they
Oak
played
Cliff,
nobody.
and then
They're
that's
2 and 2.
it. But Dave Campbell's does a good job.
Oh yeah,
We can always critique him.
I used
but,
to work for Dave Campbell, so
Maybe he should fly in with Jerry, and we'll have a talk.
There you
with
go.
him.
There
you do that.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to understand how they think
Exactly,
about it in their
exactly.
process. What do they include? And are
Yeah.
they watching the games? That's what I enjoy about
Yeah,
it.
because I used to work there. It's a very small team. I mean, you got Matt Stepp, you got Greg Tepper, and you got Ashley Pickle, and you've got a few others out there. Shout out to Greg Powers, the scout for Dave Campbell's. But it's a lot of football games.
That's a lot of games to cover.
and
a lot of games to
and
watch.
some of this goes on some of the star power they have, some of the tradition of the programs. There's like, okay, who do they have coming back? Okay, yeah, they're going to be good, and where you rank them. But then weird things happen. You see Waxahachie beat Duncanville, and then you see DeSoto blow them out. I mean, Waxahachie didn't even. They had some ridiculous stat line. Waxahachie didn't have many yards at all in that game. It's just weird.
I'll say this about rankings. You're entering the point of the season where the rankings start to have a little more meat as you get some so-and-so played so-and-so and how do they match up. But 2 things. You keep winning, the rankings take care of themselves.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Agreed.
So just set it aside.
Yeah, you keep winning. And I think with
wins and
the depth of 10-6A, if you're winning every week, that does a lot. I mean, I think Heath is off this week. I think.
Yes,
Heath is off this week. But if Heath were to go out and beat a North Forney or Forney or even Longview early on in the season, you'll see them.
They should have to be.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have to be.
but it's again, and in high school, it doesn't matter if you're number 1 or number 101. You still go to the playoffs if you win the district. And you can still just walk through it. So rankings are it's just a pretty shiny necklace.
I go back to what Coach Webb said. The year that he took Denton Guyer to state semifinals, they were 0-4 in preseason district, and they found themselves there. So that doesn't mean a whole lot, but we'll see how it shakes out. But that's the rankings for this week. Okay, we're going to take about a 30-second break so I can enjoy this Coke, which my wife says I'm not supposed to be drinking. Coca-Cola, if you want to sponsor us, I drink your product all the time. So we'll be right back. When we come back, it has not, but hey, you keep going, you keep growing in numbers, and you never know. When we come back, Rockwall Roy City recap. We're going to talk about that game. We're going to talk about what we saw. We're going to highlight the Yellow Jackets defense because I think they deserve some love. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's a Tuesday night. Good luck to the junior high teams that are playing tonight. Volleyball's going. I was on my calendar. I was supposed to be at the Heath volleyball game tonight, but I've got a big golf tournament that starts tomorrow through Saturday.
Oh, now we know why you
now
can't
we
do
know
it.
it's not because he was busy.
Yeah, no, this is it. My wife, she loves this tournament this week because it's it. That's it. There's no more golf tournaments. There's no more commitments to golf until the spring. So she's like, all right, enjoy the week because that's it. So I'm gonna enjoy the week. You guys enjoy the break really quickly. We'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. And we are back. We're live here at Rockwall Ford. This segment brought to you by Open Air Wealth Management. Guys, let's Roy City Rockwall. We really built it up. I thought it was going to be one of those games where we wanted to see. I wanted to see a few things. Number one, how good is Roy City? Where are they? They were obviously 4-0 in the preseason. They were scoring some points. They looked really well. There was a lot of energy in that game. On the Rockwall side, we're accustomed to seeing the high scoring, the 40, 50, 60 points, and they really hadn't done that. Now after the North Crowley victory, I kind of adjusted and I sat back and I was like, okay, I really didn't give them enough credit for playing a close game against Lake Travis, number 5. I really didn't give them enough credit for a 7-point loss to a ranked Louisville team. I guess at that point I was really judging off the Berkner game, where that's a game where we're accustomed to see them that 50 points and just a total blowout, and they really didn't. So, and obviously that was a road game, so I didn't get to see that game. I did see I was there for the Lake Travis and Louisville game. So I was really like, can Rockwall, if they get into a shootout, are they capable of scoring that 40, 50 points that they might need versus a Roy City team that has looked high-powered on the offensive side? And, it was early on. First off, Rockwall won that game. Rockwall was the stronger team. Their defense was good. Did Roy City shoot themselves in the foot early on with some penalties? They had, I think, 10 penalties for 99 yards. Absolutely. But I thought that Rockwall came out and Rockwall won 48-31, and it was a 10-point game in the fourth quarter. I'm going to play this really quickly while I'm talking. But I did not turn this down real quick. I did not I wasn't really sure what to expect, and we had talked. Chris and I had talked about before the game, and I thought whichever quarterback really makes the mistakes, has the interceptions, that's going to be the real difference. And Brent Rickert was spot on.
Yeah,
He
great
did.
game.
He had a great game, and he didn't turn the ball over. They took care of the ball. The defense was good. They took advantage of penalties when Roy City made the mistakes, and that's why they were able to come out on top. And I thought it was good for Roy City to make it a 10-point game in the fourth because it just that had to give them a little confidence. Now, is it Rockwall coming out of halftime?
Let's talk about the first half.
Okay, let's talk about the first half. Good.
I mean, I was coming off the North Crowley game. You had a little bit of anxiety on how are they going to come out. I mean, I can remember the years against the Heath game. The I-30 Classic, Rockwall always seemed to come out flat that next week. It was always the letdown game, and so I was anxious to see how are they going to come out after the North Crowley game, and I thought Rockwall came out incredible. I mean, hands off to the coaching staff. They had them prepared to play. I mean, I think it was 17-0 after the first quarter.
Yep.
And then the defense played a great game. I think they had 89 yards at halftime. I mean, that's pretty solid against the Roy City team. I don't care who they've played. They've been putting up some big numbers and big points.
Yep.
And then we had there was a turnover, an interception got called back that the Roy City quarterback threw. But then the very next play, it was another interception. So, I mean, the guys had their head in the game, and I think it showed that first half. I think there was no question the game was over at halftime. Did they come out flat after halftime? I think they might have a little bit. But on the flip side, Roy City put up 14 points. Was it real fast? I mean, and so you can see that there's that potential there. You can see where it's coming from. It's going to be some great football.
And we've said we've talked about we feel like Roy City is a little ahead of schedule of where they're at. We thought Coach Colvin's second year, the kids buying into the program, everybody learning all the new systems, everything, and year 3 is when hey, we're going to see a kind of big jump. I think they're ahead of schedule, and I think they're playing. A style of football and good enough football that they can make some noise in this district and be dangerous.
I agree, and you can tell they're buying in by how they came out after halftime. The kids were ready to go.
Yeah, there was a couple things that I saw on both sides of the ball. First, I'm going to talk about Rickert. Rickert really surprised me with the way he came out. He ran the ball, wasn't afraid to put his head down. His attitude and his spunk after he got hit and then got back up. I mean, he was fired up. It showed him to really take control of the team.
He did.
I think he became the leader Friday night. I think that solidified him as being the leader of the team Friday night. It just was like a whole different attitude I noticed from him.
And I think he came out with that too when the running game that had been working great was not working.
Yeah, and the screenplay
was the running game.
The screenplay, Rockwall threw that over and over and over. Now, I'll say this, and it was interesting because I don't know if you paid attention, but Rockwall didn't even show up until a little less than an hour before game time.
They were. I was wondering.
Yeah. And so I'm assuming it was close. They want to do their preparation here and then come there and finish their prep. Kind of interesting, kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Coach Brooks has his own thought process, so that was kind of interesting. But Roy City, so
and hey, let's call it out. I mean, hey, you stood up here and I love the confidence. You said Roy City by 3.
I did.
And you even got to be on the broadcast.
I did. So I had to. So David Sweet and Billy Quinton made me come in and get on air, and I got out of there as fast as I possibly could. Because it was only a matter of time. I saw David staring at me and starting to smile, and I said, I got to go. I knew it was coming, and I like to be on air now.
Yeah.
But I knew I had to get out of there, or I was about to be well done by the time I left. And so, Roy City. So, man, I don't know if, and I said this last week. They had never been these kids. This is going to be the biggest game they ever played. So, what concerned me a little bit was that. But the way they played defense in that first half, they looked confused. To me, I don't know if it was preparation. I don't know if it was nerves. I don't know exactly what it was, but they did not look like they were ready for what they were going to get. I mean, to me, it just didn't look like that. And so I'm hoping it was nerves. They got the big game under their belt. Now we're starting district. Now we can go. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. I mean, well, and I was also surprised how they played the game defensively. So the corners were way off the receivers, and Brent was picking them off for 8 and 10 yards at a pop, right and left, and it was, they didn't adjust to that, but they stopped the running game, so we have got to give them credit for that.
They did. So, like I said, I'm hoping it was nerves. I'm hoping that I was pretty upset, and I was texting you guys. I was real upset at the first half with the way the defense was playing, because I know there's no way that defense played those first 3 or 4 games like that. No way.
Right,
they wouldn't have won all the games. So I was upset. I was texting you guys about it. I wasn't real happy with that. So, I'm glad that in the second half they came out. And, I wasn't super worried about the offense. The way that Arnie's a good player. Richardson's a good player. I knew if he kept his nerves together, he would do okay. And they adjusted in the second half. So it'll be interesting to see what they do this week. I still love the Dogs. I still believe in them, and I think they're going to battle for potentially the number 4 spot. We'll see,
and we'll talk about that 40 game later on. But I mean, hey, if you let's look at some positives. Royce City, they didn't have many yards in that first half. They end up with 357 total. They rushed for 196 yards, and we're going to show Rockwall some love on their defense, and they've been really good. Jamion, 161 in the air, 62 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. He did have the 1 interception. Bryson Arney, the sophomore, just coming out of nowhere, and it's not like he's got 6'4", right? He's just a guy that finds open space and can make plays. He's got 120 yards receiving, 31 rushing. He has the 1 touchdown. He's been putting up yards all season long, But the difference was, I mean, it was that first half. The difference, the penalties early on really put the defense behind. And Rockwall, they only had 5 penalties for 53 yards. You can live with 5 penalties if you're Rockwall. But Brent Rickard, 282 total yards, 239 in the year, 43 rushing, 3 touchdowns. A.J. Hatcher, 104 yards total. He's got the 2 touchdowns. Obviously, a big part of that was that big run. But that was really the moment where, okay, like we got a 10-point game. What's Rockwall going to respond with here? Because if they punt this ball and they give Royce City some life here with 8 minutes to go, this could get really interesting when Royce City took advantage of either making adjustments after half or a combination of Rockwall coming out a little flat. They had Rockwall on their heels just a little bit, just enough to make you think if Royce City can come out, get the ball back down 10 with 7-8 minutes to go, this could be an interesting game. And then A.J. Hatcher to the house. And
yeah, that was the dagger. But, I mean, that was just a great run. Offensive line blew up the hole. It was just wide open.
And nonetheless, Royce City didn't give up. So we always, we've always talked about their heart. And again, I know Rickard's, giving me a hard time on here, but I'm telling you, in the beginning of the season, I had Rockwall. I wasn't real high on Rockwall. And I think Friday night, Rickard, he took firm control of this team. I think he's the clear leader now. I think you're probably going to see them go ahead and do well through the district. And look, I'm going to reserve the right to change my standing because, I mean, you never know if now you could be talking. Heath is still my favorite. Heath is still my favorite. I'm going to stick with him. You got North Forney and Rockwall now. Man.
So I think what you're saying is we can report that the demise of Rockwall this year has been exaggerated.
Yeah, I think so. After Friday night, because I'm telling you, I think Rickard showed something that I hadn't seen this year, and he took firm control. He came out with attitude. He came out with fire, and he put his head down and took the licks and got the first downs. And man, so Look, I think we've established now who the leader of that team is. And I think Rockwall's going to now just keep moving forward. And Royce City, I'm going to hold it to it's their nerves. I think they got this game out of the way. Now they're going to settle down, and we're going to get busy, and we're going to talk about the Forney game.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Look for that one defining Royce City victory in the Colvin area and watch what happens. It's that program defining victory can really.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was expecting this Friday, right? I was expecting, and I said that. I said we're going to go to the moon if they pull this thing out, and you know. So, hey, we'll see. Now we got Friday. Again, you win this game in district, and you never know.
Yeah, I think on the Rockwall side too. There are games that they have to win. It was they needed to win the Royce City game. They need to win the Tyler Legacy game.
Yes.
They need to win the Forney game, right? Because now you're set up with, and we'll talk about the Longview game in a little while. But when you talk about Longview, Heath, and North Forney, those are the three games where you might drop one. You might drop one, and you can't afford to drop one to a team that traditionally they're going to take care of. And we're talking about Royce City, Tyler Legacy, and Forney. You know, so.
And you could say that about every team this year in this district. Like, you got to win the games you're supposed to, or you could be in trouble really quick.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And that's why I don't think Royce City is out of this because they dropped one to Rockwall.
No.
They're going to need to beat a big team. They're going to need to beat a North Forney or Heath and Longview. They're going to need to win one or two. I think two of those to grab a spot in the playoffs. It's very early on. A lot could happen. Injuries can happen. Things can happen. But you know, when you're talking about a team that's maybe on the fringe. You're right there to be, hey, we feel like that's a playoff team. You got to figure out a way to win some big games. We'll see.
I think if there's a team on the bubble, I think you got to say Royce City and Forney are the two teams that if I have to put them on the bubble, those are the two teams, and it just so happens they're matching up on Friday.
Yep.
So we may know on Friday who that team is that we think is going to make it because, you know, it's going to be interesting.
I think you said it last week, but that was what Friday Night Lights was all about, was at that Royce City game.
Yep.
I mean, the atmosphere, packed house on really both sides, but I mean, the Royce City side was obviously packed. Rockwall travels well, they usually do.
And it's good to see.
Great atmosphere.
It's good to see that in this district now on other games other than just Rockwall Heath, because that's the game. I mean, that's where everybody packs. The Forney North Forney game last weekend was packed. Royce City Rockwall was packed. That's what you want to see. The football around here is by far the best around. It is.
Yep.
And, you know, they're talking about the District of Doom. These guys are just going to beat the crap out of each other. They are.
Yep.
It's just going to happen. And I honestly –
win, lose, or draw, they're going to beat each other up. They're going to be hurting the next week.
I don't think any team goes undefeated in district this year. I think it's going to be very, very, very hard.
Yeah. I do too. I don't see it But you never know. I mean, like I said, I mean, we're at the end of the day, we're talking about high school kids, and sometimes emotions take over, and sometimes weird things happen. The ball doesn't bounce your way, and so you know everything's on the table at the moment. I don't think by any means did that game between Royce City and Rockwall tell me that Royce City's not good, or Rockwall's the best team in the district. It just kind of Rockwall's legit. Their defense is as advertised because I really do think that Jamion Richardson, the quarterback for Royce City, with his dual threat, and he showed his legs. I think that's a tough assignment, and Rockwall was up to the task, and it was a good win.
Well, and let's be honest, that is about as big a game as they're going to play in until they get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, the Heath's going to be a big game too. But, you know, for them to get that game out of the way now, they've experienced – and let's talk about the crowds for a second because I mentioned this with David and Billy when we were on air. And, just look around at the stadium and how full Rockwall was, and we were. The whole stadium was packed. The place was jamming out. And then you sent pictures of the line waiting to get in at Forney and North Forney.
Yep.
I mean, unbelievable on a Friday night. I mean, it's just, man, there's just nothing like it.
Yeah.
There just isn't. And that's why, I'll take this over NFL any day of the week.
Any day of the week.
It just you just can't beat it. And for our kids to get to play in a big stadium in an atmosphere like that with that many people sitting there yelling at it, and I don't know how many, 4,000 or 5,000 people, I don't know, however many it is, but it just prepares them for that next level if that's what they decide to do. Shoot, man, we have as many fans come to our games as some colleges do.
Man, I'll tell you, I drove to Jackson, Mississippi 2 years ago to watch Peyton play, and it was the night after the Rockwall Heath game. There was maybe 300, 400 people total in the stands. And these people from all over go coach kids. And I was just looking around and go, what is it? I said, I was at a high school game last night that had 14,000 people, and some got turned away. And they just looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm not giving up on Royce City. I think they're right there. We're going to find out this week. And I think this week is again, another defining moment for them. And they're right there on the cusp, and we're going to see how they bounce back. And they should. I mean, listen, if at the end of the day, you shouldn't feel great about ever losing, but you should feel good about the fact that you were able to go out there and compete, and you held your own and you didn't quit. You know what your mistakes are, right? Penalties and straighten that defense up. So you know what you have to do to fix it. And you're coming up against a team on Friday that's good, but you can beat them.
And both teams are needing a win, too.
Yes.
So this is a huge game for both these teams.
Yeah,
Go
100%.
0-2 in district.
Now you're talking
hurts.
about you have to have some. You're going to have to run through.
You're going to have to run it.
North Forney, Heath, Longview. You're going to have to beat all those teams to get in. Listen. We're about to jump to because I want to really talk about the Rockwall defense before we move on to another segment.
Well, let me say this too. If I was If I was Royce City, I would want this game on Friday. I would not want to face Rockwall and then turn around and face Heath.
No.
Oh, no.
So for them to have they probably couldn't have asked for a better matchup.
Yes.
It not knowing it was going to be this, but if this is a good game for them on Friday night.
Yes.
So
I agree.
If I was them, I would be excited and happy with what I'm fixing to have happen.
I agree because I think they have a real opportunity to get a win here, and to be 1-1. Moving on to the next game, I don't have their schedule in front of me, but to be 1-1 would be massive for the Bulldogs. You can't go to 0-2 is not the end of the world, but when you're a young program with that young coaching staff is what I'm trying to say. 0-2 could be a little deflating. You could start just being down on yourself and then have to deal with other things. This would be a massive win. And I will say before we move on, I'd like to see Jamion, the quarterback for Royce City. He's got to reel it in just a little bit with some of the after the play celebration penalties because they hurt your team. They hurt your team, and this kid is amazing. I've interviewed him. Everybody I talked to, I'm not taking a shot at Jamion because I think the world, and I've talked to other people, and because that's what I do. I like to, hey, who is this kid? And everybody's like, this kid's just amazing, and he's just really nice. He's just got to understand the moment and understand that whatever my next action is could affect the team, and that goes for all the kids. But obviously the quarterback gets the.
And I'd be willing to bet that Coach Colvin had that conversation with him this week.
Well, there's no doubt
I
this
would think so.
is a playoff. That was a playoff game, right? You're not going to face a team worse than Rockwall if you get to the playoffs. So this was a great experience for these guys to start. Man, it hit you right from the very beginning. So. You know what you're coming up against.
And I'll say it. If Rockwall and Royce City played 10 times, 10 weeks in a row, Royce City is going to win some of those games. That's how high I think of Royce City.
Mhm.
They're going to win some of those games because if you clean up the penalties and you don't start off a little bit slow in that first half, they're going to find a way to win some of those games. So I think they're a good team.
Mhm.
We'll see Friday night. They've got a, and we'll talk about that game in a little bit. I want to talk about Chris. Traditionally, we're used to this Rockwall offense just blowing up. We've mentioned that before. Defense has always been like, okay, can they hold some teams? Can they hold some really good teams?
Can you hold them to 40? Can you
Yeah.
hold them to 50?
Yeah,
and
because
outscore them 65
yes,
to 50 or
this
whatever.
year's a little different. I'm gonna play a little Rockwall defense highlight video from some of the video. I think this was the interception that might have got called
I think
back.
this is the one that got called back.
Yeah,
yes.
that's the one that got called back. But I did. I was watching, and lawyer Christian lawyer. He had some massive plays in the backfield. Was just doing some really good things, stopping the run, which has been a little hard to do. But I thought again, when you look at the level of competition that they're playing, Rockwall has just been super impressive on defense.
If you look at the scores, the teams that Rockwall has played, if you look at the points they have scored outside of the Rockwall games, you got Lake Travis. They put up 48, 59, 41, and 63. Rockwall held them to 28.
That says something right there.
That speaks volume to me. Royce City has been 40, 48, 49, 47, and 60. Rockwall held them to 31. North Crowley has an incredible amount of offense, incredible amount of talent on offense, and Rockwall may have gave up a few more points than we wanted to there, but it was a situational defense. When they needed some stops,
Yeah.
they got the stops. And who would have thought, if you watched Rockwall football the last 10, 12 years, who would have thought that game would have came down to a Rockwall defensive stop to seal the victory?
Exactly.
And I mean, that's really exciting to see. But I mean, they're playing physical. They're just it just has a whole different feel, and it's showing up on the points. Maybe it's not showing up as much on the yards and some of the stats, but I mean, you have to also talk about the secondary. I mean, we have two really strong corners.
I mean, coming into the season, that was the scouting report on Rockwall is the strength of their defense is the secondary, and that's what they're going to have to rely on.
And I think that's helped some of the guys like Wade Day and Lawyer get in there and be able to play with their strengths. So it's exciting to see. Obviously, got a good test coming up this week, I think, with Longview, and we'll talk about that later. But continuing to play that physical style and it's something we haven't seen a lot of. There's a couple of. It seems like we have quite a few defensive players playing like you would see one or two players in years past play, right? I mean, just the real hard-nosed physical defense, and it's exciting to see.
Yeah, I talked to. It's funny. Number 32, Christian Lawyer. You see making a play here. His parents were in here. I think they're one of their dads. I think, or they were buying a vehicle. But they talked about how much fun they're having and how they in the stands people are like, man, where's defense coming out from Rockwall, and they're excited. It's an excited unit. They believe, and I think they want to be the we're talking about Rockwall. I think the defensive unit wants to be what they want people talking about that and not the offense.
Right.
And right now it shows.
That could be the difference this year that possibly propels them to the next level. I mean, you've never talked about the defense before. It's always been offense, offense, offense. Well, now you've got your defense. The offense is strong. I think they're executing. So, man, you never know. This could be what helps propel them further.
Yeah, so just an incredible job by Coach Brooks and his defensive coordinator, that staff.
Coach France,
great job. Doing a great job, and I mean the kids are buying in, and they're starting to believe in every win you get.
They're playing as a unit too.
Yeah.
If you really watch, and study the game, they're really they're playing as a team, and you can see they're knowing their roles. They're feeding off each other, and that can go a long way.
That's going to go further than you can ever imagine coaching.
Yeah.
That right there will get you further in the playoffs than it's going to get you a lot further than talent.
Yep. So I mean, early on in the year, Rockwall looks good. Even if you study their losses early on and who they lost to, you got to feel really good for if you're a Yellow Jacket fan at what you're seeing. And they'll have another test we'll talk about in a little while with Longview at Friday night at home. All right. So any last thoughts on Roy City Rockwall before we move on?
I'm ready to move on.
All right. I know you are.
I do have one question. Are you still going to buy us something to eat?
No.
Does the catering offer still stand if they beat 40? That's on the table. Okay.
No
Well,
dinner.
you know what? I don't know.
tried,
Wait, let me
Chris.
think
No
about
dinner,
that.
man.
I tried to put out a challenge to Longview Game Day, texting with Frank who runs Longview Game Day for Morgan, who runs Texarkana Game Day, which is why all this exists. And I said, hey, let's do a challenge. I said, well, the loser will provide gear for them to wear on because they do their pregame show on the field at Longview. So you'd have to wear all Rockwall stuff, or I'd have to be up here in all Longview stuff, and we'd have to do some smelling salts on air.
Wow.
So I'm waiting for. I might have to push them a little bit and just make this public on social media.
I think you should.
To bait them into taking the challenge.
I'd be for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
not even a hot dog.
We'll see.
Not even a hot dog. No, man.
All right, we're talking about hot dogs. Let's take a break. We're going to take a break. When we come back, let's recap Week 5 and talk about some of the other scores and what we saw from Heath. I've got a lot of notes on Heath, so let's. I don't have any video. I tried to get some because there was a good video put out by the Heath Booster Club. I tried to get that video. They approved me to use it literally at 5:29. When we were going live, and it was just too late for me to plug in. But we'll talk about some of the other teams, and we'll highlight Heath for a little bit. Sponsor was brought to you by Open Air. Look.
Right on time.
Catered pizza.
Right on time.
Pizza's here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after we go eat something. Two, one. And we're back. This segment brought to you by Wrench City Power Sports, www.wrenchcity.com. The man right here, Mr. James Branch, is the owner of Wrench City Power Sports. James, before we move on, tell us a little bit about Wrench City Power Sports.
Man, we've been around a little over 2 years, located right out in Caddo Mills, right there off of right by Dynamite Fireworks, and we can handle all of your Harley needs, your Triumph, your Yamahas, Kawasaki's, side-by-sides, ATVs, everything that you need, we can do it. Accessories, maintenance, all that stuff, custom builds. If you've got something really cool that you wanna do with your bike, we can take care of it for you. So just give us a call.
Beautiful little shop, and in the back, bunch of cool toys back there being worked
Cool
on and
toys.
modified and things like that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if that's the world you live in, on the bikes, go see James over at Wrench City Power Sports. And I say this about our, in all seriousness, I say this about all of our sponsors and the guys that are up here. These guys are up here supporting the kids on their own time. These businesses are supporting the kids by allowing me to do this type of stuff to highlight them. Right. And anytime you have businesses that are willing to highlight your kids and give their time, I just ask that you give them a shot when you're in the need for any of that type of business, whether it be wealth investments, motorcycle stuff, side by side stuff, Rockwall Ford. I've been a customer for a while. I think I'm on my third truck here. And I know you bought a truck here. It's really big that we support these local businesses that are supporting our kids. So,
yeah, you come see me and tell me you saw it on the show, or someone told you, I'll give you a hat or a T-shirt or something.
Boom, there you go. Some free gear. 10-6A Week 5 recap. Well, I want to kind of talk about all the teams. Obviously, we've talked about Rockwall and Royce City. Let's talk about some other scores. Chris, I know you have some scores. I know Longview was on a bye last week, but what happened else around the
Well, we talked a little bit, but we had North Forney 35-16 over Forney, so we'll dig into that a little bit. Longview was off. We talked about Rockwall, Royce City, and then we have obviously Heath was 51-21 over Tyler Legacy, so that was another big win for Heath.
Yeah, what's fun about the district this year, and I had mentioned this maybe last show or the previous. In past, there was some weeks that you felt like, all right, this is just kind of when you had some of the Mesquite schools in it, and you felt like, all right, there's not much interest in this game. We kind of know the result. This year is very different. It's kind of must see TV every week. It feels like a must win every week.
There's no layup game for any team this year.
It makes it interesting, and that's why keeping a close eye on this is going to be huge. Because I think I want to talk a little bit about Heath, but before I do, I'm going to show some standings and some big time performers. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to move us out of the way really quickly. How about that? There we go. You see the standings there. I mean, overall wins. I mean, they don't mean much. We talk about preseason wins and things like that. But there's the district standings. North Forney 1-0, Rockwall 1-0, Heath 1-0, and then you got Forney, Royce City, and Tyler Legacy obviously dropping their first game. I think paying attention to the points is tells me a little bit. Now it can be misleading because I was kind of penalizing Rockwall on this for not scoring all these points, and then you go back and look at who they played, and you're like, okay, well, the number 5 team in the state, the number 14 team in the state, they're not going to give up a lot of points. So it's going to be a little bit of a low-scoring affair, and that's maybe why you see Rockwall with some lower points. Now they go out and they score 41 on Friday night, and that's kind of
next week you can add a district point scored column, and let's see how the district points match up,
no, that
might paint a different picture.
It might paint it. Although with the quality of teams in this district, it wouldn't surprise me when you start talking about North Forney and Rockwall if that's a little bit tighter game, right? So we'll see where it goes. Longview, which we'll talk about when we talk about a preview in a little bit. they've played a couple of good teams. The South Oak Cliff, they drop a game too close, and then they drop a close game to, I think it was a Louisiana.
Ruston.
Yeah,
Ruston.
they're
Really good school
yeah,
out there.
they're
Really good school.
they're a powerhouse. So, and then they didn't play this week, so that's why their points are a little bit low. That's just up there for me to track, just to kind of look at it. It doesn't really mean too much, to be quite honest. But some shout out. These are the players on this top offensive performers, and let me just say this to folks. I don't have access to a lot of defensive stats. They're kind of unreliable. Some teams put them on max prep, some don't. I was actually talking to Christian Lawyer's parents, and they were saying that some of his stats were wrong because they went back and watched the game. And they're like, these aren't matching. So it's really hard for me to be able to highlight and showcase some defensive players because of that. But these are the players that when you're playing, if you're playing against one of these teams, these are the guys you got to watch out for. The Forney running back who's committed to Notre Dame. This is a light week for him, 160 yards. Sean Gary. We'll talk about him in a minute. Prosper Neal, Legend Bay, the highly talked about quarterback over at North Forney. He never has he doesn't have like 500 yards as a quarterback, but he's going to have a ton of rushing yards, and he's gonna hurt you. Jamion Richardson, Bryson Arney, Brent Rickard up there, with a solid game. AJ Hatcher. I'm not gonna attempt this North Forney name here. If anybody wants to give it a go, but and then of course you got Carter Zom and Mikhail Yeager for Rockwall Heath. So shout out to these players around 10-6A in this week's top offensive players for DFW. I don't have a lot of stats on DFW because I don't. Dallas Morning News doesn't really keep track of Tire Legacy and Longview, so I'm not throwing them out the door here and just paying them disrespect. It's just that I don't have that info, so that's why they're not up there. The last graphic I'll show really quickly was our open air week 5 player of the game. Of course, open air. We do a week a game where it's a game of the week, and then we pick a player of the game. Brent Rickard, 282, 27 of 37, 3 touchdowns. You said it. He was just a leader. He was just really good.
One of those intangible things that don't show up in the stats,
yeah.
but his presence, he made it known and really played a big part.
Yeah,
for sure.
So shout out to Brent Rickard once again. You don't forget, Brent had a monster freshman year for Rockwall, and then he gets hurt his sophomore year, and then he's asked to come in last year, kind of halfway when Landon goes down, and so this is his first full year that we're really going to see him since his freshman year. So
his completion percentage the first half was, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was really solid. I mean, he was very sharp.
Yep. I want to talk about Heath because obviously we're Rockwall County Game Day. They're one of the teams that we're behind and we really focus on. They get a 55-21 win over Tyler Legacy, a big district win. 562 yards total yards for the Hawks versus they gave up 379 Tyler Legacy. They rushed for 328 yards, that game was kind of over at the half, 38-7 at the half. Prosper Neal, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeager, as I kind of just showed, a monster game. This is a really good team, and before I turn it over, I want to point out a few things. Prosper Neal on the year, total yards, he's got 1,183 yards, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 64% completion rate. He's really grown up, and he's a big threat. I don't want to throw any shade and not mention Collins Jones, but he's just not getting the amount of snaps, to really eye-popping off the stat chart. But Collins is definitely a guy that you talk about throwing a deep ball and a more of a traditional kind of pocket quarterback, he's a guy that what Coach Webb calls his number, that they can hurt you. This is a good Heath team. You know, the last 3 games, this defense, I was really high on the defense last year. I thought they could have easily ran the table in district when you look at them having the lead last year in the fourth quarter against everybody. In the last 3 games, they've given up just 20.3 points per game. The defense is starting to play really well. They give up an average of 31 points a game. They average 42.6 a game. But they're what's two stats that are really eye popping to me is they average rushing 241 per game, and they only average 5 penalties per game. So they're well disciplined, they're well coached, they run the ball, and if you can run the ball and you play a little defense, that's usually a good recipe.
And you've got, you had your stats up, but you got 2 backs that are both really solid that can run the ball, put up 100 yards real easy in a game.
Yeah, you had a couple of receivers. You had a couple of receivers that had over 100 yards. You were very, very high on Heath's defense last year. You hyped them up all year. I didn't get to watch either one of the games that I wanted to see. I was at the North Forney game and had no service in there at all. But when I got home, I started watching, and it's kind of like you were talking earlier about the Rockwall defense. A lot of, to me, the Rockwall and the Heath defense are a little similar this year because they just swarm now. It's when in the old day when I was watching small 3A football, that's how you had to win. You had to swarm. And what I've seen so far from Rockwall and Heath both is, man, if you get hit by one, there's 8 more fixing to just nail your tush. So you better be ready for it. And that, what we said, defense wins championships. You get that kind of swarming defense out there, and you're putting up the points and the yardage and running the ball like Heath is. He's going to go far this year.
They're averaging almost 500 yards of offense a game.
Yeah, I mean,
that's saying something.
Yeah, and it's not like they haven't played again.
And Highland Park and Prosper on that list. So
yeah, they've played a really good schedule, preseason schedule. When you talk about Highland Park, Prosper is a team that wouldn't surprise anybody to go far, state semifinals, and be a team that that's playing deep, but also the San Juan game. I mean, and then to come out in district, and it's not like Tyler Legacy wasn't putting up a lot of points in their preseason games. They were scoring some points. So for them to go out, hold them, and then also go out and score some points, that was really big for Heath.
Well, I think that Rockwall and Heath both did what you need to do in pre-district to be successful. You go play the big boys. If you lose, you lose. If you win, it's even better. If you win and you come out healthy, it's great. That's what they did this year.
Yeah.
They went up there and they showed everybody, look, we can play with y'all. We're tired of being pushed around in the first round. Bring on your Duncanville. Bring on your DeSoto. We'll see what happens. This is our time now. And I think there's going to be a big difference this year just because of who they played and what they've shown so far is what they can do. I did say last week that I didn't think there was going to be a team getting blown out by those numbers, and then Heath did it to Legacy badly. I mean, Rockwall, granted, they let Roy City come back into it. Rockwall had them down pretty good.
Yeah.
I did not see that happening. I thought all of us were going to be a little bit tighter in the district this year, but Rockwall and Heath both last week put themselves up.
Well, I think what you see this year is you see Heath and those kids took full advantage, I think, of the offseason, and they came out playing well from the very start. And I personally, I think Heath is the most well-rounded team that we have right now. And they just
we certainly thought that a couple weeks ago. I'm not so sure anymore because of what Rockwall has going on defense. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but I need Rockwall to prove me wrong. Rockwall is not the same Rockwall they've been the last 5, 8, 10 years, but definitely Friday night they impressed with what they did. And so I think they even played better Friday than what I saw at North Crowley. Even though North Crowley was a state championship team, to
that
me,
first half last week was really solid.
it was. And
If
again,
you watched, it was really solid.
man, it just felt like you had a couple of players, Rickard turning that corner and really establishing himself as a leader. And I don't want to go backwards, but Rockwall showed me something. But I'm telling you, man, I still think Heath is just so well-rounded. They've got it together. The kids that were good last year are even better now. They took full advantage. And, man, if they stay healthy and they just keep trucking along, and you said you don't think anybody's going to go can run the table. I'm not so sure. If Heath can sneak by Rockwall at the I-30 Classic, they run the table. But they got to get by.
You just have to watch that sneak-up game. It's like Chris said earlier, there was always that letdown right after the Rockwall Heath game. Luckily, we're not playing that at the beginning of district this year because not only for Rockwall, but it was also for Heath. It's like you get so high to play that game, win, lose, or draw. That next week was almost a letdown game.
Right.
So you had to be ready for it. So you guys did do it, and for that to be at the end of the season this year, I think it's going to be a lot better on everybody.
The counter to win this I-30 Classic, and I'm going to talk about Heath just a little bit more in just a second, but the counter to that game being played at the end of the year is we know the energy, we know how physical that game is, and you really would hate to see some key injuries as playoffs approach, and that was kind of the thinking of them playing at the first district game. Is if we have some injuries, if we have some bang ups, we got time to recover and we'll be okay. So I love it. I love it on Halloween. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Batman usually does an appearance, and this year he'll get to do an appeance.
Sorry.
Do you know about Batman?
I do know about Batman.
Okay.
But
All right. So
It's not as big in person as you think.
I want to say this about Heath. You know, one of the reasons I was so high on Heath last year and I was this year is because I thought Carter Zom was just a difference maker. I think you know, a healthy Carter Zom last year combined with this year, I think he's just a D1 player. I think he's just dynamic. I think he's just fun to watch. You know, he's got 8 touchdowns this year, 505 total yards. I did think it was interesting when I was looking at some of his stats that you know, Coach Webb kind of talked about him as a wide receiver or a guy that we're going to use in the receiving. He doesn't have much receiving yards at all, but yet, you know, he's still in the running game, you know, 100 yards, 84 yards, 99 yards, 61 yards, 104 yards. But I guess when you have guys like Yeager, other running backs, you know, that can be effective, that'll be down. The flip side to it is, and this is a big one for me, Sean Gary, the wide receiver for Heath, that kid is doing some special stuff. He's got 44 receptions through 5 games. He goes 5 receptions, 8, 10, 13, and 8. He's had 100 yards, over 100 yards in every single game except for this last one. He had 92, and they probably put the brakes on a little bit in district play, and they're winning. He's scored a touchdown in every game for the Hawks this year. When you have a wide receiver that can have that kind of production, now you got to kind of are we playing the run here, or are we protecting this wide receiver, you know, and giving the secondary some help? That creates some problems.
Right.
Heath creates some problems there, and it's going to be really interesting to see how teams approach them defensively, because they've got some really good weapons outside and in the backfield, and a couple of quarterbacks that can get it done and throw at a high percentage. We'll see.
you know, the other thing about Heath too is, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, but the junior class was the one that had a great freshman and JV the last 2 years that was almost untouchable. So you obviously have a lot of talent in that junior class, and you know they're all a lot of them are starting. So
well, and I'll tell you this too. I don't think Heath is going to get caught in a trap this year. You know why? Because I believe that every coach in our district is watching this show every single week, and they're taking notes because they know that we know what's going on, and they are using our material to practice every single week.
The amount of
And-
people that you say are watching this show, I need to start wearing a tie. If that many people are
I'm
watching,
just saying, we should be simulcast all over the country, man.
we do get about 13 to 2,000 views, but I mean on this show. But I mean,
I
hey,
just know right now every coach is sitting there taking notes and listening to us talk.
Longview is
and
probably shaking in their boots right now just thinking about us coming.
I know it. I'm just telling you, man. Coach Webb right now, I know he's writing down no trap game. Be prepared. I know it. I just know he is.
We have to also say we're fortunate in our district that we have the quality of coaches that we do.
I thought you were going to say the quality of commentators we have on this show.
I learned that too, but I mean, just from Coach Webb and Coach Colvin and obviously Coach Brooks and King out in Longview. I mean, these are some really great.
They're questioning our opinions after his Royce City by 3 pick.
He's outside.
I know Rickard is for sure.
I was the one that had to walk on the field and hear it.
Well,
see,
and I was the one that had to say we need some Rockwall bias in the show.
I know that's what I heard. I was opposed to you coming on the show too. By the way, I voted no. I'm like, no, we don't need him. He's going to wear a Rockwall shirt. We don't need that.
That's all good.
Well, and to expand on what you say, it's not only just now. I mean, I've been around this for 4 or 5 years, 6 years since the boys were in school. It's not only just our football; it's our baseball and our volleyball. I mean, we've got two of the best baseball coaches in the state, if not the two best coaches in the state. And, it's just I have felt so fortunate to be able to go along this ride with my boys. And as soon as they graduated, I'm still on one ride, but to be able to stay with these guys up here and just keep it going week to week and talk high school football, man, this is
a lot of fun, man.
This is heaven right here.
The last thing on Heath, Highland Park game, they rushed for 199 yards. Prosper game, they rushed for 250. San Juan, they rushed for 275. Those I would say those are really good opponents, and if you're able to put up some good rushing stats like that, it's gonna make for a tough out, and that's why when we talk about defenses and we're highlighting the Rockwall defense, it's a matchup down the road, and these teams still need to take care of business for us to be talking about that game because a lot can happen. Right. But if they stay on their trajectory, you're talking about a massive two powerhouses just about to run into each other.
And that's what's exciting too is all of our teams, but especially Rockwall and Heath, are getting better every week and they're improving.
Yep.
So that's it.
Yeah.
We've obviously got a lot of football.
We're going to find out
Halloween.
Friday if Roy City's on that track too. We're going to find out.
Let's do this. I'm going to take about a 30-second break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to preview Week 6 really quickly. We got two big games for sure that I want to talk about: the Longview versus Rockwall game and the Roy City versus Forney game. That Roy City Forney game is going to go a long way into really seeing how these standings shape up at the end of the year. So we're going to talk about that. Don't go anywhere. Segment brought to you by Wrench City Power Sports. James Branch, thank you for being a supporter of ours. We'll be right back. We're live at Rockwall Ford. one. All right, we're back. We're live here at Rockwall Ford. Our open air game of the week is Rockwall versus Longview. We'll be in the house for that game. I say we. I will be. I know Chris Moore will be there.
I'll be there.
And maybe James Branch. We'll see if what he's got scheduled. But that is our big game of the week. And let's really quickly let's talk about Royce City Forney first. I mean, you look at this game, and both teams obviously drop their first game. Forney going down to North Forney, Royce City going down to Rockwall. If I had to say, okay, I feel good about these teams in the playoffs. I feel good that North Forney. I feel good about Rockwall. I feel good about Heath. That fourth spot is kind of that's where, okay, what is Longview? We know the success that they've had in the past. They went to the state semifinals last year. What is Forney? Is that running back enough to get them to the playoffs? And then Royce City. Is their high-powered offense? Are they ready to make the jump? And that's why this game, Royce City versus Forney this week, is huge. I mean, the Forney running back, he rushes for 220 yards, 194, 90, 130 yards, 98 yards. He's got 10 touchdowns. What's interesting about this Forney team is I think they've scored 21 total offensive touchdowns. They've had some other defense and special team stuff, but 21. 10 of them have come from their running back. He is their bell cow. He is, as if they're going to have any success, that's the guy. If you can figure out a way to stop him, and when I say stop him, you can't let him go for two. But you can let them run for 100, 120. You just can't let them go for 2 and have 3 touchdowns, because then you got problems. They're controlling the clock. They're just taking their time and just wearing you out physically. That's this Forney team. I mean, they're 3-1. They're I guess 3-2 now. Their best win would be against Lake Highland, who is 3-1. That was my notes. Lake Highlands is 3-1. That's who I think their best win for Forney at the moment. And so it's going to be interesting to see. I think that they're Royce City. I think that if they just go out and they run their offense like that we have seen, and they can control themselves on the penalties, I think Royce City could win this game by 2 scores.
I agree. I think for me, the good thing is, we mentioned it earlier, they are pretty good at stopping the run.
That's where I was going.
So if you're going to play a Forney team that lives by the run, that's good. I feel good about that. And then, like you said, if we can minimize the penalties, the offense is going to get their points. I feel, and both of these teams are scratching and clawing to try to get up the ladder. And so I feel a lot of positives in this game. I feel like Royce City can do what they need to do. Listen, we sat here and brought this up on break, all right? I'm willing, Miss Colvin, I know you're watching, so here we go. I'm ready to throw it out again because I need a victory. I need help here. Miss Colvin, I need help, all right? I need you to talk to Coach. Let's make it happen. Let me spend some money on the boys and cater a pregame meal a night before a game. I need a victory this week. I need a victory, all right? And I believe we can do it because, again, we can stop the run. If we can just minimize the penalties, big game nerves are out of the way, all right? So that's done and over with. We can't use that anymore. So I think we need to go to Forney. It's their homecoming. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be crowded, but, again, we played in front of a big crowd, right? So let's just go take care of business and let's get the job done.
I think it's going to be a great game. I'm excited to see.
Forney has to stop giving up the big play. That has been what's killed them. The games
and Royce City's a big play.
That's I mean, like I was telling you guys when we started, I was watching the North Forney game Friday night. They will hit you for a 2-yard loss. They will sack your quarterback, and then they will give up a 65-yard run. They've got to stop that. The secondary has got to get a little bit better. They've got to start playing more solid up front. They are a good football team. They are not a great football team yet. They have a great running back. They have a great quarterback. But
I don't have their scores in front of me.
if you stop one and depend on the other, I don't know if you can go back to it. If you stop this one and go back to this one, I think they're going to be – they give up too many big plays, guys. That's what I'm saying. They give up too many big plays. There was a play the other night that should have been obvious what was going to happen, and you could have went to the concession stand and got that hot dog before you got to the quarterback, and the guy was standing in the end zone by himself. It looked like a peewee football play. It was bad. It was bad.
I'll take a few of those Friday.
So
let's wait till next Friday to figure it out.
And what was it? Week 3, Forney played Waxahachie.
Yes.
And it was a close game.
It was a very close game.
35-14, and it was
very close in the
close
first
to half. Very close.
Yeah.
And Waxahachie obviously has a really solid defense this year. But I think the way Royce City stopped the run last week, if they can do that, it really adds a whole nother dimension to that game. Because can Peterson put it up in the air? We haven't seen it yet.
Hadn't seen it yet.
He can put it up in the air.
But that's the key to path to victory, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is stop the run and take our chances with Peterson in the air.
Peterson will beat you in the air if the run is working. Because if you're sitting there defending the run, then you're going to be open. You have to stop J.O. The kid is legit. He is
very
good,
talented,
and he is so much fun to watch. I hope you get to come. Regardless of who wins, I hope you get to see that kid run. He is a talent. He is fun to watch. He runs hard, and he is one of the most respectful young men you'd ever want to meet. And that goes a long way.
Well, if I'm so confident that Royce City wins this game and I'm going to cut this segment. I'm going to tag Forney. If Forney beats Royce City, I'm gonna allow them to come on and have a takeover show where they come over and they bring their star running back and they come up here and they throw Forney in front of all these Rockwall communities. So if they beat Royce City, I'm gonna have them on. And we're going to give them their credit, but I just think in all seriousness, you when you have a high-powered offense, if you get into a shootout, Forney to this point has not shown that they have that type of. That's not the game they can play. Now you never. I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe somebody gets hot. Maybe they're been setting this up and they're ready to show something else. I doubt it.
I will tell you, Forney did not play well Friday night, and they kept it close. I mean, I can't remember what the final scores we left in the third quarter, but they'd only given up like 21 points.
Yeah.
But
it's a crosstown rivalry game, right? I mean, you see that in in Rockwall and Heath, we're going to see some mistakes and we're going to see some things that we normally don't see.
Right.
We could see a 70-70 game, and you're like, those aren't two defenses that give up 70.
Right.
It's just because those offenses weren't going to be stopped because we're playing Heath, we're playing Rockwall, we're out.
It's an anomaly. Yeah.
It's just one of those things where I could see it.
Well, and we hadn't talked about it, but the Forney defense did hold North Forney to 35, which was way under what they've been scoring.
Yep.
I mean, North Forney put up 51, 55, 49, 55. Now, again, some of those are teams that may not be as strong, but still, they didn't put up the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's like I said, it's to me, there's the coin flip. Is it Royce City or Forney's going to get that 4th spot? Which one is it?
This will be a big game.
It's a big game to
that
decide
question.
which way that
really
going to go.
Really feel that.
I'm going to say 38-21 Bulldogs win Friday night.
I'm going to go Bulldogs by a touchdown.
Yep.
Well, I have to say Forney. I want to eat dinner tonight, so.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice.
All right.
I think Royce City will pull it out. I think it'll be a close one, but
I think it'll be close. But I think Royce City's going to pull this one out.
All right.
All right. Let's talk about the our last thing to talk about tonight. The game of the week: Rockwall versus Longview. Listen, I was kind of looking up at Longview. They've averaged 12 wins a year since 2018. When you take out that COVID year, where they went 5-3. They make it to the state semifinals last year. First time they come up to 6A, and this is the district that Heath and Rockwall rule, and they win the district, but the big thing is they lose their big time running back who broke every school record that Longview had, and Longview's had some ridiculous, amazing running backs. They lose 4 linemen, and they lose 3 All-State linebackers. They've got a freshman starting at wide receiver. They got a quarterback who took over during the playoffs for Longview last year. And I don't know if that was due to an injury or what that deal was. You and our prayers are with Coach King for Longview, who was having surgery. For I think for some cancer around his cheek or something like that. And we hope that goes well. But when you look at some of the changes, some of the people that Longview lost, some of the coaching deal, and maybe some other coaches coming in, and inevitably other coaches they're gonna still put in their own style to it. They're gonna call it a little bit different. They're gonna seed a little bit different. You see Longview at 2-2. They did lose to South Oak Cliff, and we know all about South Oak Cliff, how good they are. They did lose to a powerhouse in Louisiana, but now we're going to find out what Longview is. Now we're gonna know after this week who Longview is. If they come out flat, they come out just no points, just nothing that's electric and just crazy like we've seen in the past, then we might have to start questioning Longview this year.
And I think with Longview, there's always some intangibles, especially when you talk about Longview and Rockwall. One is Longview always just plays a really hard, physical style of football that in the past Rockwall hasn't always matched up against. So I'm anxious to see how that plays this year. We saw Longview be very physical last year, and I mentioned it before we got started, but Longview has been in and out of the district with Rockwall and Heath,
right.
and they've won 10 times out of those 10 times.
And
so,
what were you saying?
The last time Rockwall beat Longview was in the 1930s.
Yeah.
So all time, Longview's 10-1 against Rockwall. So
it's a new
that's
era.
crazy.
It's a new era, but but again, 10 of those were in the last 15 years. So
right.
And I'm excited that Longview has to come to Rockwall this year. That is a trek. It hasn't mattered in the past. Will it matter this week? We'll see. But they always seem to reload.
Oh yeah.
Just like Rockwall and Heath. So yes, they've lost a bunch, but I remember there was a lot of talk last year leading up to the Rockwall game that they had lost some too, and we saw what happened with Longview. So I think it's going to be a dogfight, especially given just how Longview's style of play is.
It is, and you got to look at it like this. Rockwall, played a home game last week. I mean, it was 5 miles down the road. Longview was off. So they've had their bye, and they're coming, they've got a 2-week layoff to get ready for Rockwall. Now, that's going to be a key for them. I mean, they're going to come in healthy, but like you said, that 3-hour trip it's going to take to get here, that's a lot. And you're going to come in here to a hostile crowd this year. I think everybody, I remember Heath played them tough last year. Longview, to me, in our district last year, got lucky on about 3 games. I don't know if they're going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen this year.
Well, I tell you, I think so. We talk about Longview being off, but I tell you, man, that game Friday night, dude. I'm telling you, I think Rockwall maybe found itself. I think they had again, man. It just to me, it looked like they came out with a purpose. Maybe they turned a corner. Maybe Rockwall doesn't need to turn a corner. I don't know, but I feel like they found themselves Friday night, and I think Longview, is still trying to figure out who they are. I think they're still trying to maybe figure out what they've got going, where they are, who they are. I know it sounds weird. They're a legendary team, but they've had a lot of change. They graduated a lot of people. So I still think maybe they're trying to find themselves. I think Rockwall has found themselves, and they know who they are. I don't know if it's as close as we think. I think Rockwall wins the game. And I just think Rockwall is the better team.
The only thing that I still want to see, maybe it's just past, and maybe it's just me. I need to get over it. I want to see this quick striking Rockwall offense. Just dominating offense that's like nobody can catch their breath. Nobody in the stands can catch their breath. Me's videoing. I can't even switch to the right camera frame because it's just happening so fast. And I don't think that's how they're going to win this year. I think it's just going to be a steady dose of just consistency on offense and sound defense. And sometimes, if you play that way and a team is having a good offensive night, you can find yourself in some really close games.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know. What I still don't know exactly where I rank the Rockwall offense when I compare it to Heath and North Forney at the moment. I got no more questions about their defense. But again, they played a high-powered offense in Royce City, and they had no problem. So we'll see.
I think to expand on what you said, I think you said that they found out who they were. I think they found out who they think they are, and I think Friday night against Longview, they show everyone who they are. That's how I think right now. Yeah, I think they beat Longview by 17.
Okay.
I think it's another one of those opportunities for Rockwall to put a stamp on the year.
Yeah.
Where there's a physical opponent that in years past we hadn't matched up against. You did it. You played physical versus Lake Travis. That game was within reach. If you watched it, we don't need to go back. That game was within reach. North Crowley, and then last week. I mean, it's going to be there, but you got to put it together. Can they put another? I hate to use the word program-defining win, but I think it would be. Coach Brooks talked about it a couple. Maybe I was on the pregame show where. He said, I want to see that in district, right? I want to see the district wins when he was asked about the North Crowley win. Well, this, to me, has the potential.
Yeah.
Let's put that stamp.
They want to take control of the district again.
If you win Friday night, you beat the defending district champs.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
That's big. That's
a
big.
State semifinalist. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a huge win.
Yeah.
And I'm all for Rockwall in this.
Hey, that on your resume, you beat a state champion and a state semifinalist in the same year.
There you go.
I think it'll be a great game. I think it's going to be a physical game. I would love to say it's as big of a margin as you said, Kevin.
I think they're going to pull it. I think they're going to pull it out.
I don't feel that it'll be as big of a margin, but I feel good from what I've seen. I'm going to say Rockwall by 7.
Yeah. I like Rockwall. I like Rockwall by 7. I'll call it 8 points. I'll call it.
Just to be different, you're going to call it 8.
Yeah. Just I have to be different. I'll say 28-20. I'll say 28-20.
I think it's not going to be a game like it was last year, where it was 65 to 38 or whatever it was. I don't think you're going to see anybody go off, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think it'll be a 4-quarter game too. I think it will be a game that could come down to the last couple possessions and who gets a stop or two.
Yeah, if you don't have plans Friday night, it's going to be beautiful weather at Wilkerson Stadium, and as good as Chris Curtis and that broadcast team is doing for Rockwall ISD. Shout out to them for doing a magnificent job with this new broadcast deal.
So easy.
There's nothing like being in the stands and cheering on the boys and the coaches and supporting them in person.
And let's show Longview how loud it can be too.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
And if you guys have gone out to Longview, it's a great place to watch a game. But man, it's a great atmosphere. It's loud. Let's make them feel that here.
And can we just talk about that for 1 second? Can I make a plea to Royce City? They got to make it easier for us to watch the game. It is so hard to try to find Royce City on YouTube and watch that game. I'm sorry. Please, I'm begging. Anybody who's ever in charge,
whoever's idea it was,
turning my mic off
for Rockwall.
No, I mean, but listen,
I'm turning because I don't want to say
to do what they did this year was absolute genius.
Click.
And both games are right there. They're right there.
Listen, I have to have Miss Katie get on her phone. I have to get on mine, and we have to search, and we have to figure. It is so complicated to watch a Bulldog football game. I'm sorry. I love the Bulldogs. You know I do. Please, I'm begging. Please make it easier to watch the Bulldogs play. Please. That's all I got.
Yeah, I got nothing to say on that. Guys, this is going to be fun. I think I think that I think this Longview Rockwall game and this Forney Royce City game. I think the two. I think the winner of Royce City Forney has got a real leg up. If we when you're talking about the future talking about who's going to make the playoffs, if Rockwall handles Longview. Now, it doesn't mean there's no shame in losing to Rockwall if you're Longview. It doesn't mean that they can't go out and beat all these other teams and they take over. But having Royce City and Forney, one of them's going to go to 0-2, and that's going to be a tough hole to climb,
yes.
in this district.
Yes.
So,
You want to throw a wrench in there? What happens if Legacy just shows up and beats North?
Hey, calm down, okay? Would you
I'm
just
gonna
hold
throw
on
some-
for a second?
Let's throw some Wrench City Motorsports in this.
Oh man.
Kyle Cavan, shout out to Chris Curtis. The man's a genius. I mean, he's a Longhorn fan, so I'm not going to go genius level here. Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's killing it,
Chris is
and
doing a great job.
he just does an amazing job.
But he's not available to go on the other side of 30. So
Well,
Yeah,
it is easy, man. You log onto the website, click, you're there.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. So listen, I'm just begging. That's all I'm doing. I'm just begging.
Not much, just groveling on the air. Here.
Please, I'm just begging. I
And
want
this
to
is
watch.
why we can't get Jerry to come out here because of this kind of actions.
Chris Pena, James Branch, Chris Moore. Chris, thank you for joining. I hope you had fun on the show.
absolutely good to join you guys.
Kevin Wingfield, this was fun tonight. We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll switch it to Wednesday. See if we can get some of the teams on here. We have not had that this year yet. We will next week, and I promise Coach Mack over at Heritage Christian Academy, we will get you on. Providence, we're going to get you on. Dallas Christian, I promise we're coming. It's been a crazy, interesting 10-6A, and we've. I've just felt, it's like, man, there's a lot going on. We've talked about it, so we'll get back on track. Volleyball, we owe you. We've not talked enough volleyball. We're going to get some volleyball because basketball is going to be starting up soon enough. So we got to get moving.
I do have one thing, and big prayers going up to the little lefty that we got going to UT. Tyler has pro day next week.
Oh,
And texted me this week, hit 93 on the gun, gentlemen.
well,
We're
good luck.
throwing 93 miles an hour from the left side, and
All right.
big
Let's
things
do
are
it.
coming.
Good
Let's
luck.
go.
Good luck.
Big things are coming.
Good luck to all your teams out there. Hopefully, you guys come out of it healthy. We'll be at the Rockwall Longview game, and I'll have my phone on to see if we got a stream for the Forney and Royce City game. Can't wait for those. And Longview game day, if you're listening, I'm calling you out. We need a challenge. Forney, I called you out. I don't think you got a shot here, but I'll give you your credit and your time in front of a camera to kill me if you do. So
I'll go a step further. Listen, I'll wear a Forney shirt if they can win, and
You do realize I have to go home in a few
look.
minutes,
I'll
right?
I'll sit in the middle again, and they can surround me, and they can talk all the
Yeah.
trash they want, and I'll wear a Forney shirt.
As much as Forney and Royce City need a win, this man needs a
I
win.
need a win.
I can feel that he needs a
I'm
He
win.
needs a
begging.
win.
I
needs a
need
win.
it. I gotta
Hey,
have
I'll-
it. Let's eat, dogs. Come on.
You need to write this down. I won't say it a lot, but go Jackets
Okay.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. Yeah.
Let's do
Go.
This
go
week.
Jackets. Go Jackets.
this week.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Everybody have a good game day. That's it for us.